Everyone says open world games are dead. Too much filler, empty maps, meaningless side quests. Yeah, we've all heard it. But the truth is, the problem isn't the worlds, it's the people who forgot how to make them matter. Because when an open world is done right, it doesn't waste your time, it owns it. The PS5 has quietly been building worlds that pull you in and don't let go. Stories that breathe, bleed, and make you forget the real one outside your screen. Some are brutal, some are beautiful, but every single one proves that open world gaming isn't fading away, it's just getting smarter. I'm Jax. Welcome to Play Hunters. If you can subscribe and help us reach 50K, that'd be amazing. Now, without wasting time, let's jump straight into it. 3 centuries after the Legend of Tsushima, Japan stands at war with itself. Muskets meet katanas, samurai clash with rifles, and snow buries the last traces of honor. It's a land caught between tradition and revolution, and you're the ghost haunting the space between. Ghost of Yotei transforms every battle into a story written in blood and silence. The combat demands precision, punishing hesitation with death. You weave between bullets and blades, parrying with instinct, striking like a shadow. Each duel feels like a memory refusing to fade, fast, brutal, unforgettable. One slip and your blade freezes mid-swing. But when it all connects, when you end a fight in perfect rhythm, it feels divine. Exploration becomes meditation. Wind howls across valleys, wolves stalk you through the snow, and every shrine you climb feels like defying nature itself. The kusarigama changes how you move, part weapon, part lifeline, letting you glide across rooftops or drag enemies into the dark. Even the blizzards feel alive, erasing your footprints as if the land itself is watching. But the world isn't waiting for heroes anymore. Choices bleed into consequences. Mercy kills allies, vengeance saves no one. This isn't about restoring honor, it's about surviving what's left of it. When the final duel ends and the snow finally settles, silence becomes your only witness. And in that quiet, legends are born. For years, we dreamed of walking those halls, and when the doors finally opened, they didn't just welcome us in, they came alive. Floating candles, whispering ghosts, portraits that follow you with knowing eyes. Every corner of Hogwarts Legacy feels like a story waiting to be discovered, hidden behind laughter, secrets and spells too powerful to speak aloud. Combat hits harder than you'd ever expect. Spells snap and crack through the air, a pole here, a blast there, fire roaring where precision fails. It's chaos you can conduct, turning duels into art. Each spell flows into the next until you forget you're holding a controller. You're not playing a wizard, you are one. Step outside those castle walls and the magic deepens. Flying across the countryside, you watch the sun break over mist-covered forests, lakes glowing with moonlight. Every creature, every ruin feels handcrafted to tempt you off the main path. Curiosity becomes your compass, and danger your closest friend. But Hogwarts has its shadows. Goblins rise, dark magic tempts, and power asks its eternal question, what will you sacrifice to master it? The further you go, the more the castle feels like a reflection of you, unpredictable, alive, and beautiful in its mystery. And when you finally close the game, it doesn't feel like leaving, just graduating. New York never sleeps, but now it breathes faster, louder, and darker than ever. The city hums with tension. Skyscrapers glowing like circuits in the night. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 isn't just a sequel, it's a full-blown evolution. 2 heroes, 1 story, a web stretching between power and responsibility, and the threads are starting to snap. Switching between Peter and Miles feels seamless, like playing 2 hearts sharing 1 pulse. Peter's symbiote adds fury to every punch, turning acrobatics into pure aggression. Miles glides through combat with his venom powers, sharp and electric. You don't just fight, you flow. Every encounter feels like a cinematic dance between chaos and control. The city itself feels reborn. Queens and Brooklyn expand the map, with street musicians, neon reflections, and storms rolling over rooftops. Swinging through the skyline feels impossibly smooth, but then you open your web wings and glide across the East River like it's second nature. You catch yourself doing nothing but swinging, just because it feels that good. And the story? It hits harder than a venom slam. Friendship, loss, obsession, all colliding in battles that feel deeply human beneath the mask. Boss fights blur the line between game and movie, each one louder and more emotional than the last. By the end, you're not just saving the city, you're holding it together, one broken web at a time. The land doesn't welcome you. It swallows you whole. Every mountain, every fog-soaked ruin feels older than time and crueler. Elden Ring isn't just open world, it's open suffering. a place where curiosity kills you and rewards you for asking why. Then Shadow of the Erdtree arrives, and even pain feels reborn. The expansion throws you into the land of shadow, where gods have bled and the ground remembers. Enemies are faster, stranger, unkind. Every boss feels handcrafted to test your patience, and every victory feels like a miracle. You fall, you fail, and somehow you smile, because that's what makes it perfect. The game never hates you, it just doesn't care. Freedom is the real weapon here. You can sprint through forests on your mount, charge into castles that should have killed you 10 levels ago, or fall into caves that rewrite your build forever. Every item, every line of lore whispers another truth you'll miss the first time. The world hides more meaning in silence than most games do in dialogue. And the DLC? It's from Software Unchained. Mesmer the Impaler might break you in half, but the story reshapes everything you thought you knew. New weapon types turn you into a myth. The combat feels alive, desperate, divine. This isn't just the best Souls game ever made. It's the point where punishment becomes art. Ever played a game that doesn't care if you make it out alive? That's what this one does to you. Dragon's Dogma 2 doesn't guide, it tempts. It lures you into forests that hate you, dungeons that lie, and fights that feel like they were made to break your confidence. There's no glowing trail to follow, just instinct fear and the stubborn need to see what's over that next hill. The pawns are back, but they're not just companions anymore. They're echoes of you. They adapt, copy your playstyle, and even call you out when you hesitate. Combat feels more alive than ever. You grab monsters mid-flight, cling to their backs while they thrash through the air, stabbing for dear life. Every victory feels personal, like the world finally acknowledged your persistence. Then comes the night, and you realize how small you really are. The torch flickers, whispers follow you, and your pawns sound nervous, which is never a good sign. You can't see the danger, only hear it moving. When dawn finally breaks and you've made it to safety, your relief is real. You stop, breathe, and think, yeah, I earned that. That's what makes this game so rare. It's not about winning, it's about enduring. About failing 50 times and realizing that's what made the one success unforgettable. Dragon's Dogma 2 feels like a conversation between chaos and control. Unpredictable, cruel, but deeply rewarding. When you conquer it, you don't celebrate. You just nod, exhausted, and smile. Ever wonder what loneliness actually feels like? Not the word, the weight. The echo of your boots on wet ground when there's no one left to answer. Death Stranding 2 takes that sound and turns it into something strangely peaceful. Kojima builds a world that's not about saving anyone, it's about understanding why you'd still try. Every journey becomes a confession told through silence. Sam is older now and every step shows it. The world's harsher, oceans swallow cities, sandstorms scream across broken bridges, and time itself feels fragile. But he keeps walking, the gear matters, the path matters. Even the small kindnesses from unseen players feel monumental. Every hill climbed feels like a metaphor for everything you've survived. Then the weirdness hits, because it wouldn't be Kojima without it. Puppet shows, impossible landscapes, black tar oceans, and symbols that mean everything and nothing at once. You don't always understand what's happening, but you feel it. The Strand system returns stronger, letting strangers build, repair, and connect in ways that feel hauntingly human. By the time the credits roll, it's not closure you feel, it's reflection. You realize the game never asked for perfection, only patience. Death Stranding 2 isn't trying to entertain you, it's trying to speak to you about connection, loss, and the strange comfort of moving forward even when no one's watching. You ever played an RPG that feels more like surviving than role-playing? That's the hook. Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 throws you into medieval Bohemia with no magic, no shortcuts, just cold steel, hunger, and politics that could get you killed. It's not about saving kingdoms, it's about surviving them. Every decision feels permanent, and every mistake carries dirt on its hands. Combat here isn't forgiving, it's anatomy in motion. You feel the weight of every swing, the exhaustion in your arms, the panic when you realize you can't block fast enough. You bleed, stumble, and somehow get better. Enemies don't wait for your timing, they punish hesitation. And when you finally land a clean hit, it feels like victory in its purest form. Quiet, earned, real. The world feels shockingly alive, towns follow daily routines, merchants close shops, guards gossip about your last brawl. People remember what you did, and they'll treat you differently for it. Want to intimidate a noble? Better clean the blood off your armor first. The world judges you by how you look, how you smell, how you act. It's not fantasy, it's history, breathing down your neck. It's rare for a game to trust you this much. It doesn't explain, it observes. You'll learn to read by actually reading, to fight by actually failing, and to live by earning every inch. Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 doesn't want you to play a hero. It wants you to be human, flawed, determined, and stubborn enough to keep going when everyone else surrenders. Tell me something, how do you make a world feel truly alien? Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora answers that in every glowing leaf, every ripple of its forests, every moment where you stop and just look. You're a Na'vi raised by humans, torn between two worlds, and that tension shapes everything you do. You're not fighting for Pandora, you're trying to remember what it means to belong there. Flying on your Ikrin is pure art. The moment you leap off a cliff and those wings catch the air, it's not travel, it's flight as emotion. You dive through storms, weave between floating mountains, and feel the wind fight back. The DualSense captures every gust, every heartbeat of the creature beneath you. When you land, you almost wish you hadn't. Combat feels primal and precise. You can fire a bow with your heartbeat or pick up a human rifle you were never meant to hold. The game tempts you, use the tools of destruction or the grace of nature. Each battle is a choice between two identities, and when you destroy an RDA base, you don't just clear it, you watch Pandora heal, vines growing over the scars you left behind. It's easy to forget how rare this level of immersion is. The world isn't just big, it's alive, pulsing with color and danger. Exploring at night feels spiritual, everything glows like a living dream. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora doesn't ask for your skill, it asks for your attention. Because when you slow down and really see it, you realize this is what next gen was built for. Some stories don't need to be retold, they need to be reborn. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth takes that idea and runs wild with it, shattering nostalgia in favor of something bolder, stranger, and infinitely more emotional. The world beyond Midgar feels impossibly alive, like every corner hides a memory you weren't supposed to see. This isn't a remake anymore, it's destiny rewritten. Combat feels like art under pressure. You swap between allies mid-strike, chaining attacks that make the battlefield glow. Every move flows into the next with impossible precision, blades, magic, and teamwork exploding together like choreography. When a synergy attack lands, it's not just damage, it's satisfaction. It's control, chaos, and beauty all at once. The story plays with what you think you know. Familiar faces act differently, fate bends under pressure, and every scene feels like a test of how much you're willing to remember. You'll laugh in one breath and feel your chest tighten in the next. It's unpredictable in the best way, a game that trusts you to feel, not just follow. And when it ends, it doesn't feel like closure, it feels like continuation. Every chapter feels earned, every twist deliberate. Rebirth isn't chasing nostalgia, it's confronting it, asking what happens when memory becomes myth. And maybe that's what makes it brilliant. It's not trying to be your past favorite game, it's trying to be your next one. The storm doesn't wait for you to be ready, it roars, blinds, and swallows everything until all that's left is instinct. Monster Hunter Wilds drops you into a world that isn't just dangerous, it's alive, volatile, and unpredictable. One second you're tracking footprints, the next a thunder beast tears the sky apart and rewrites your plan entirely. Every hunt feels like a gamble with nature. Sandstorms shift the battlefield, monsters adapt mid-fight, and you're constantly choosing between survival and glory. The new focus mode forces precision. One mistimed dodge and you're done. But when your blade finally finds its mark and the creature crashes to the ground, that silence afterward feels sacred. Your mount changes everything. It's not just transport, it's an extension of your strategy. Swap weapons mid-run, chase across biomes, leap into chaos without breaking pace. Monsters fight each other now, turning the world into an evolving food chain you can only barely control. You're not the apex predator anymore, just one more creature trying to survive. And that's the genius of it. Wilds doesn't hand you control, it tempts you to earn it. The world reacts, remembers, rebuilds. You'll see wounds heal, storms shift, and ecosystems evolve long after your hunt ends. Every scar tells a story, every roar has history, and when the dust settles, you realize this isn't just a game, it's nature roaring back. History doesn't wait for heroes, it makes them bleed first. Rise of the Ronin throws you into Japan's most chaotic era, where the sword meets the gun and honor has a price no one can afford. The Bakumatsu period isn't romanticized here. It's a storm of betrayal and change. And you're standing in the eye of it, blade in hand, unsure which side of history you'll end up on. Combat is everything Team Ninja does best, fast, unforgiving, and deeply satisfying. You switch between stances mid-fight, counter bullets with a katana, and finish duels before your opponent even breathes again. Every clash feels earned, every victory heavy. One mistake and you're gone. But when you land that perfect parry, the world seems to stop just long enough to remind you why you fight. Exploration feels deliberate, not endless. Villages hide stories worth your time, and every path leads to a moral line waiting to be crossed. Grappling hooks turn traversal into a kind of art, swinging across rooftops, ambushing enemies, or escaping just before sunrise. It's freedom with consequence, and that makes every decision feel real. And that's what defines it, choice. Who do you serve when every leader lies? What do you protect when tradition dies in your hands? Rise of the Ronin doesn't want you to play a samurai fantasy, it wants you to live through a revolution. And when the sun sets over Edo, you'll realize the era might be ending, but your story's just beginning. Some worlds don't welcome you, they test your will to stay. Demon's Souls Remake isn't nostalgia, it's resurrection. Blue Point rebuilt a classic without softening a single edge, turning pain into something breathtaking. Every stone, every scream, every shadowed corner of Boletaria feels alive again, cruel, haunting, and beautiful in equal measure. You step into that fog and it's like time stops. The clang of steel, the spark of parried blades, the echo of your own heartbeat, it's all sharper now. The dual sense vibrates with every impact, every fall, every resurrection. Enemies don't just hit hard, they humiliate, but every death teaches and every victory feels like redemption. The Tower of Latria still crawls under your skin. The Valley of Defilement still feels cursed. But now you can see every horror in impossible detail. Flames dance through corridors that used to be memories, and now they burn fresh scars. Photo mode feels like irony, capturing beauty in a place built to destroy you. It's more than a remake. It's proof that pain can be art when crafted with precision. Demon's Souls doesn't beg for your patience, it demands your respect. It's where From Software found its soul, and where every player learns the cost of greatness. You won't just remember the bosses, you'll remember the silence right before they kill you. The old world didn't die, it evolved into something wild and untamed. Horizon Forbidden West expands everything that made the first game unforgettable, throwing you into a land where nature and machine share the same pulse. Every step forward feels like discovering a world reborn, dangerous and breathtaking at the same time. You don't just explore it, you fight to deserve it. Combat has never felt this fluid. You dodge, slide, and unleash a storm of arrows that hit like thunder. Every machine is a puzzle of moving parts waiting to be broken apart piece by piece. The DualSense lets you feel the pull of the bowstring, the crunch of metal, the heartbeat before a hit lands. Battles are brutal, beautiful, and deeply rewarding when you master the chaos. Exploration is pure temptation, deserts burn in the distance, jungles breathe with mechanical life, and the ocean itself hides secrets beneath its glowing reefs. Swimming through ruins feels spiritual, ancient tech, and coral intertwining like ghosts of a forgotten age. It's a world so rich that you stop tracking quests just to watch it exist. But what gives it soul is the story beneath the spectacle. Power, survival, legacy, themes that feel painfully human even among machines. Forbidden West isn't about finding answers, it's about learning to ask better questions. And when the sun sinks over those shattered skylines, it's hard not to feel grateful you got to see this world still fighting to live. Some worlds are born broken, others are built that way on purpose. Cyberpunk 2077 drops you in the middle of one, a city that shines brighter the darker it gets. Night City hums with lies, ambition, and neon promises that burn out faster than the people chasing them. You're not the hero here, you're just trying to matter before the city forgets your name. Combat feels alive, electric, and dangerous. Guns roar, blades hum, implants overheat, and it all happens faster than you can think. You can hack security mid-fight, cloak in invisibility, or slice through enemies before they realize you've moved. Every build feels personal, every upgrade a reflection of who you decide to become. Freedom here isn't moral, it's mechanical. But the real story isn't told through missions, it's in the quiet moments between chaos. A conversation in a cheap motel, the way the rain hits chrome at dawn, the reflection of your face in a broken mirror when you realize you've changed more than your wiring. Cyberpunk's beauty hides in exhaustion, in chasing meaning inside a world that doesn't care. And that's what makes it timeless. After all the fixes, patches, and promises, it finally became what it was meant to be. A story about identity, about control, about being human in a place designed to erase humanity. You don't finish Cyberpunk 2077 with answers. You finish it wondering how much of yourself you left inside Night City. Conquest isn't glory, it's survival dressed as ambition. Assassin's Creed Valhalla takes that truth and carves it into the bones of every raid, every blade swing, every burned village. It's not just another open-world checklist, it's a saga about belonging. A story that asks what happens when the conqueror starts craving peace more than power. Combat here is heavy and personal. Every strike carries weight, every axe hit shakes the screen. You dual wield like a beast, parry with precision, and feel the crunch of metal through your controller. Fights are messy, grounded, and satisfyingly brutal. You don't dance with your enemies, you break them, piece by piece, until the field falls silent. The world is vast, but never empty. England feels alive. Fog drifting over rivers, towns rebuilding after raids, kingdoms plotting in whispers, sailing between shores with your crew, songs echo over the mist like memories you haven't lived yet. It's not about the next waypoint, it's about watching history breathe through every decision you make. And that's the soul of Valhalla, a quiet melancholy beneath all the chaos. For all its axes and battles, it's a story about roots, identity, and the cost of freedom. You don't just build a settlement, you build a legacy that time will eventually erase. But for a brief moment, under the northern lights, it feels eternal. Silence can be louder than any soundtrack. Sable proves it by letting wind, sand, and color tell the story instead. It's a world without war, without urgency, just the endless desert and the echo of your own curiosity. There's no combat, no fear of failure, only discovery, freedom, and the quiet beauty of not being told what to do. You ride your hoverbike through canyons painted like dreams, chasing the horizon because it feels right, not because you have to. The controls are smooth, almost meditative. You drift through ancient ruins, climb impossible structures, and collect masks that feel like pieces of identity rather than rewards. Every journey feels personal, yours alone. The art direction deserves its own paragraph. Inspired by Mobius, it turns every frame into a living painting. Dunes glow at sunset, stars spill across the sky, and shadows stretch like watercolor. You don't just play Sable, you pause to stare, to breathe, to exist inside it. It's rare for a game to feel this gentle and confident at once. And somehow, it lingers. There's no grand ending, no dramatic reveal, just understanding. Sable isn't about where you go, but how you get there. About finding meaning in solitude and learning that stillness can be powerful. When you finish, you don't feel done, you feel calm, like you finally stopped chasing noise. Revolution isn't born from hope, it's born from desperation. Far Cry 6 throws you into a paradise that's burning from the inside out, where every explosion echoes like a heartbeat refusing to die. The tropical beauty hides a nation bleeding under dictatorship, and your role isn't just to fight back, it's to decide what freedom actually costs. Combat is chaos done right. You improvise, adapt, and turn scrap metal into weapons that shouldn't work but somehow do. Guerrilla warfare means you never fight fair. Ambushes in the jungle, assaults from rooftops, quick strikes followed by silence. The DualSense makes every bullet, every blade, every spark feel alive in your hands. The island itself feels like a character. Sunsets paint rebellion in orange and ash, while jungle paths lead to moments of quiet humanity between the firestorms. One second you're hijacking tanks, the next you're helping locals rebuild what's left of their world. It's a constant cycle of destruction and hope, and somehow it never loses its rhythm. And that's what makes it unforgettable. Beneath the explosions and chaos, it's about people who refuse to give up, even when the odds are impossible. Far Cry 6 doesn't just show you revolution, it makes you feel it. Every victory tastes bitter, every loss hits deep, because in the end, freedom always leaves scars. Some worlds end quietly, not with explosions, but with memories fading one by one. Days Gone captures that silence, that loneliness of a man clinging to what's left of himself while the world moves on without him. It's not just another apocalypse, it's a story about love, guilt, and refusing to let go even when everything says you should. The open road is your confession booth. You ride through forests shrouded in fog, wind screaming past as the bike engine becomes your heartbeat. Every trip feels personal, every mile earned. The world isn't your enemy, time is. And when night falls, that engine's roar suddenly feels like the only thing keeping you alive. Combat is unpredictable, raw, and nerve-wracking. Hordes don't wait for you to reload. Traps fail, ammo runs out, and fear becomes your strategy. Every encounter is survival, written in panic and adrenaline. It's not about being strong, it's about staying stubborn enough to see the sunrise again. But what stays with you isn't the chaos. It's the quiet moments, fixing your bike under the stars, finding a photo that hurts too much to throw away, Realizing the world isn't gone, just changed. Days Gone isn't about saving humanity, it's about saving what's left inside you, and that's what makes it hit harder than most. Speed can be freedom or punishment, it depends on who's driving. Wheel World drops you into a desert of endless highways and rusted machines where every engine tells a story and every race feels like survival. It's not about winning, it's about lasting long enough to see what's waiting at the horizon. The world spins around movement. You scavenge parts, trade with drifters, and challenge warlords who rule the roads like gods. Vehicles aren't just transport, they're extensions of you. Customization goes deep, turning every bolt and gear into part of your identity. The roar of the engine isn't just sound, it's purpose. Sandstorms swallow the sky, neon ruins glow through the dust, and the world itself becomes unpredictable. One minute you're chasing the sun, the next you're dodging debris from a crumbling overpass. Every stretch of asphalt feels alive, testing your reflexes and patience. The map isn't endless, it's dangerous, and that makes every kilometer matter. Wheel World doesn't hand you victory, it makes you earn it through sweat, grit, and fuel-stained dreams. Out here, loyalty is measured in miles and betrayal in seconds. You don't conquer this wasteland, you survive it, one race at a time, and when the world finally stops spinning, you'll wish it hadn't. Not every legend starts with glory, some start with regret. Red Dead Redemption 2 is less a game and more a slow ache that never fades. It's the story of outlaws watching their world disappear, clinging to codes that no longer mean anything. And yet every sunrise makes you believe there's still something worth fighting for. The world breathes like a living organism. Snow melts, mud clings to boots, animals stalk you through fog. Every town, every campfire, every conversation feels handcrafted to pull you in. The smallest choices echo for hours, shaping how the world remembers you long after you're gone. Combat hits hard, but it's the quiet between the gunfire that breaks you. Fixing a horse's saddle, watching rain wash over a dying camp, hearing someone hum an old song by the fire, that's where the magic hides. It's not cinematic for the sake of beauty, it's beautiful because it feels earned. You don't walk away from this story, it stays with you, heavy and unshakable. Every ride through those dying lands feels like a memory you shouldn't forget. Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't about how it ends, but about what it takes from you along the way. It's beauty carved from pain, loyalty, and loss. And when the dust settles, all that's left is silence, the kind that only legends earn. These worlds might steal your time, but they'll give you something better in return. Stories you'll keep thinking about long after you turn off the console. Every one of them is a reason to believe that open-world gaming still has heart, still has something to say, and still knows how to surprise you when you least expect it. So tell me, which one are you jumping into first? Or better yet, which masterpiece did I miss this time? Drop it in the comments because I know you've got opinions. If this helped you find your next obsession, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and check out the video on screen for more worlds worth getting lost in.